Good morning, America. It's early. Sunday morning. I don't even know if I've ever done one of these on a Sunday morning. Usually my head and my heart are in a different place, but today I just can't help it. I'm addressing a very, very specific thing. And it is the misinformation and the way some people are spreading it out there regarding the assistance to the victims of Hurricane Helene in a number of different states. And the false narrative, it's a false narrative and it's a false comparison that FEMA is only giving $750 aid and that's it because they've run out of money and it's all the Democrats' fault. Folks, if you're buying into this, there can only be two reasons. You're stupid, or you just don't like the idea that somebody other than your chosen candidate might win. Because either you're stupid or this is just politics. The real truth is, this is just politics. You can make this claim all you want. You know, ones I see, $750, what the fuck? Or FEMA will only give $750, what the fuck? Or they'll only give $750 to crisis victims, but they'll dump all this money into immigrants? First of all, that last one is a false comparison. We can do both things. We can help immigrants. We can help people that are migrating here and help people in crisis in a natural disaster emergency. We can do both of those things. We've done it for a very, very long time. One is not taking away from the other most of the time. We'll get into that. But where we're looking right now, no funds have been taken from FEMA disaster relief and given to the other thing that they're over, and all of this is under the umbrella of the National Security Association, the NSA, or NHS, DHS, the Department of Homeland Security. It's all under the same umbrella. They control FEMA funding. Their funding is controlled by Congress. All right, these are the basics. That's where the money comes from. That's who allocates it. No money has been taken from disaster relief to give to migrants in this case. It's just not the truth. And if you're buying into it, you're a couple of things. You're either stupid or you're just too damned lazy to dig a little deeper. I'm going to address that a little bit right now. Because a couple of the people that have put this out there have said to me, to my face, well, I don't get into politics the way you do. You know, no, you're just way too far into politics. I don't do that. Well, maybe you should. I do dig that deeply, and I don't buy into complete and stupid fucking lies just because I happen to have a political leaning more toward the Democratic side. I still look everything up. I still look to say who said what, how's it done, where's the money come from, who puts the money out there. You don't. You don't. You just get all emotional that somebody might be getting something before your precious white Americans. And don't act for a minute like that's not it. It is. And we know where it's coming from. We know where these rumors start. We know how they get out there. But let's take a good close look at some of the bullshit you're buying into. FEMA does both things. There is money that is allocated for migrants and immigration. There's money that's allocated for disaster relief. The $750. And this is the easiest thing in the world to look up. The $750 is immediate aid for people who have been affected by the natural disaster so that they can get a hotel room for the night so that they can buy food. It's just there for that first instance. It's there just for an emergency. Okay, we know you're hurting. We're going to do something about this. No one ever said that's all you're going to get. That's all you get in the initial, here, have $750. But that isn't all that's available. Not even close. Now, the other things that are out there have to be applied for. And if you don't qualify, you're going to get turned down. That happens. But why didn't you qualify? What other mitigating factors were in there? FEMA's not going to give you a bunch of money for stuff that you're just going to get paid for by your insurance company anyway. I've got a fly in here. I'm having a Donald Trump moment. I said his name, but fuck it. Anyway, they have other funds available, but if you're getting paid by your insurance company for your loss, they're not going to duplicate that money, so yes, you might get turned down for some things. Now, one of the places where this is coming from, and I had I can't call this person a friend anymore. They're nothing but a political hack. Posted a thing this morning about someone that was in an airport and overheard FEMA people talking. And that's how they know for sure that this money is just, it's just not there because FEMA really isn't going to do anything because the Democrats said don't. So you heard somebody say that. Somebody you don't even know, you supposedly heard say that. That's your source? That's your information? If you're buying into that source and that information, you're an idiot. That's not my fault. That's your fault. But you don't do politics. That's not my fault either. That's your fault. And it affects you and each and every one of us. And if you don't, you're not paying attention. And you don't care as much as you say you care. There, I said it. But let's take that a step further. Besides the fact that it's just misinformation that's being put out there. The monies that are allocated to FEMA come from Homeland Security. They're the ones that are over all of that. They have said very clearly, there's money there, but it is going to run out before the end of the hurricane season. Well, gee, why? I wonder. Oh, but climate change isn't real. Although we are having the biggest climate changes, the biggest shifts ever, but that's not real. So it's worse than it has been in previous years. And that includes wildfires. Now let's get to that. You talk about this being the Democrats. I would like to point out some things to you because the people spouting this shit are generally supporting the orange shit stain. Those people, exactly, Michael, that's exactly where I'm going. The orange shit stain denied federal funds to North Carolina when he was in office because they had a Democrat as governor. The orange shit stain wanted to deny federal funds to California during all of the wildfires until he found out that the areas most affected were MAGA areas. Oh, then it was a whole different story. He tried to not allow funds to Puerto Rico. You remember back with the paper towels thing? He tried to deny funds then too. All in the name of politics and how they treated him. But this is all the Democrats putting all of this together. Get your heads out of your asses. That is not the case. You're believing shit that isn't real, that isn't substantiated by fact in any way, shape, or form, and the complete opposite is. But you don't care. You only care that your boy gets reelected again so you can continue spouting your racial bullshit. I said it. That's all you care about with him. You don't have anything in common with him. Do you own a bunch of high-end country clubs? Are you selling $100,000 watches, $600 sneakers, $60 Bibles? By the way, a real Christian gives away Bibles. But you want that guy. What of you does he represent beside your racist fucking beliefs? What does he represent? And here you are talking about how the Democrats are taking funding away from people who really need it and giving it to migrants. Again, I repeat, that is a lie and easily researched and refuted. But you don't care if it's a lie. You've proven that time after time after time. That makes you a cult and nothing more than a cult. People, this isn't about whether or not the orange shit stain should be reelected, other than the same sort of things that he did while he was in office will be made exponentially worse. And those things have been reined in since we put him out. By the way, we, the majority, 8 million more of us, put him out for a reason. The way he behaved in office, the way he will behave again. But this isn't just to get a Democrat in office. I'd take a reasonable Republican. I'd take a conservative Republican. As long as they adhered to the rule of law, as long as they showed some semblance of a care for democracy. This isn't about this. This $750 lie you're spreading isn't about that. It's about getting him reelected and nothing more. This should not be about politics. People are hurting. People need help. And what are you doing? You're causing all kinds of bullshit, causing even more divide. And on top of it, by the way, do you know that FEMA had to put up a whole separate web page just to fight back against the misinformation you're spreading? Do you think that was free? If we're going to talk about money being diverted, why in the hell are you causing money to come out of FEMA's coffers so that they can combat the fucking lies you're spreading? Shut up. Stop it. Start telling the goddamn truth for once. And if you can't do anything but repeat the bullshit lies, maybe the first step would be digging a little deeper. If you're too goddamn lazy to do that, your opinion does not count. Your opinion doesn't count just because you want to re-elect a felon. Your opinion doesn't count simply because you are willing to allow people to suffer more so you can spread the lies. Knock it the fuck off. America is sick of it. MAGA, America is sick of you. There. That's my Sunday morning speech. If you don't like it, if you don't like that maybe I was referring to you, ask me if I was. And I will tell you straight up, yep, you are one of the people I was referring to. And if at that point you figure you need to cut me off, oh well, that's how it is. Because I am not going to be a part of that kind of bullshit. I am not going to be a part of your carrying on about a thing simply for your myopic beliefs. That's not democracy. I don't cut people off because I don't agree with them. I cut them off because we simply have nothing in common with regard to ethics, responsibility, and care. And if you're one of those people, goodbye. I love you, America. Most of you. Share this shit.